Larry, I remember you after work, went to work at one time, drinking a Budweiser. But other than that, you haven't really engaged in.
Nah,
I think that's great. I think that's a
pot.
great message for the kids.
Never smoked pot in my life. Not a drinker. I'm an occasional drinker. You know, with friends, I'll have a beer, stuff like that. It explains, you know, my age, my look at my age. I took
And
care of
Arnold
myself.
never did that. Chuck Zito wasn't like that either.
Chuck was fun. Chuck was. Nah, you know, I never really seen Chuck. Nah, never actually. But yeah, he always would, you know, have a nice steak or something like that. Never.
He said he'd go in and drink a Coke.
You're right. Chuck was very disciplined.
Greg Valentino's the same. I admire that. You know, a lot of kids need to hear that. They think you can't have a good time, and me being one of them, who recently started messing around a little bit in the past couple years. You know, everybody did a little bit.
What does a little bit mean?
Everybody.
You're a big guy. What's a little bit?
A little bit.
He dabbles.
Dabbles another good.
He
Those
dabbles.
days are over. But back in the day, you know, we were doing GHB.
Right.
Because they said it was a great growth hormone.
Right.
So.
I actually did it before one of my shows. Just you take it before bed, and I did it for everyone out there for the show. I didn't do it to go get myself raped at a bar. Wasn't like I was cruising gay bars on GHB, looking to pass out and get gangbanged. No, that wasn't gonna happen.
They knock you out.
Knock you out.
Right, yeah.
Oh my God! You take it, a capful, right? A little capful of a bottle. In about a half an hour, you'll go into the greatest REM sleep.
Oh yeah.
Ever. You'll go to bed, wake up the next day in the same position with drool all over your pillow.
You could sleep 4 hours and you feel like you slept for 10. Yeah.
And that's what really was a benefit for competing, because you can't sleep. Whatever little gear you're on, it deters your sleep, makes you sweat and everything like that stuff. Just puts you, and your body, everyone needs sleep, man. If you're going to train, you got to sleep. You can't go out and party and do coke and then go squat the next day and watch your heart go right through your back. You know?
But you always had a great time, a great life, and you never indulged in that. I think that's commendable.
Yeah, you know something also, I'm not one to get sloppy in front of people. I have a way I like to conduct myself. I hold myself, you know, in my own esteem. And I don't want to get sloppy in front of anybody. You know, I don't want to be... to me, when guys get really drunk and they get stupid and retarded and you got to watch over them,
psychologically, it says a lot about them, you know what I mean?
Yeah, without doubt.
If you need to get loud and be obnoxious to be the center of attention, you're hurting inside, you know?
Oh, no, without a doubt.
And I'm speaking from personal experience from, you know, ages up until about a year ago, so...
Well, you had demons, man. Everyone has demons. You know, you had demons, I guess, with your pop. You know, we had demons. I was very lucky. I had a good, solid family background and, you know, was raised well. But I get it. You know, I get it. I've been around it my whole life.
You're an altar boy, too, like me, right?
Actually, I got caught stealing from the church one day. I found out where they took the money when I was like 8 years old, and I went into the place where they took the money for the, for the what passed around the basket.
And what'd you spend it on?
Baseball cards. And I got caught from my father, and he goes to me, "What happened?" He goes, "Dad, I found like $600 in a bush." I was 8, and the worst thing about that, and this is where my fear was priests. I had to go. My father brought me back to the Monsignor, and I had to go confess in front of him.
You thought we'd be like that forever.
I was like, you people, I don't know if they'd ever seen you in your prime or you talk about it. I mean, let's see, you've been doing the show how long?
7 years.
Yeah, so they didn't. That was not your prime.
No, there's one video of him benching, the same meet with Andrew. What'd you bench in that one? Over 500, right?
Something like that.
Close to it, yeah.
Raw.
Yeah, but other than that, there's not much of his old training footage online. There's some of him at the 2006 Southern States, and then 2003.
Yes,
something.
competing.
Yeah.
Competing. And he used to make fun of me, this son of a bitch, about being a bodybuilder. And when son of a bitch, that's a great story in itself.
I never said it to your face.
You never said I'm going to compete.
Behind people's
backs.
Talking shit through the grapevine, so he hasn't changed too much.
No.
That's the whole shtick of the Big Lenny
I do
show.
remember. That's when you were training in the gym across from the world. You did a show, and somebody said, "Did you see Lenny did a show?" I'm like, how much did he lift? And I'm like, "No, Larry, he did a bodybuilding." Get the fuck out. No way. He used to make fun of me. Call me a pussy, I think, a lot of times, because I would train like, you know, especially at the end, because you got to train laid cables with no weight, eating like, what, a grape for a meal?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that was an eye opener. That
I'm glad you did it because you got to do the journey.
Yeah, it kept me alive, taking 100-some pounds off me.
You know, someone out there, if you guys are listening, listen, honestly, if you ever want to do a show, that's the best thing you could do. It's a journey that you could put your mind and your body through. And once you do that journey and you get up on that stage, doesn't matter win or lose because you did the journey. I always tell people that there's not many Jay Cutlers and there's not many Nick Walkers and, you know, but if you can do a show and have the balls to sit up there
and if you're like, underwear. You know, us, we went to work. You had a job. We had a job.
We all had jobs.
These guys that get sponsored, that, to me, not that impressive.
Nah. But really we did it for the love of the sport.
Yeah.
Man. It was all for your. I told you why I did it. It was all to challenge myself. You guys did it because you were just pure the biggest gym rats I've ever seen in my life.
We were tired of people calling us fat behind our backs too.
But it was amazing when you guys got in shape. I mean, when Andrew got in shape, oh my God, he could have been in the Olympia. He didn't tear his, what did he do, tear his hamstring or something like that, or hernia?
Yeah.
He had a severe hernia. Well, I wonder why, right? All the weights he lifted.
Yeah. Well, that eating.
Yeah. He was amazing. He won the Florida, right? Didn't he go on a show and he won it?
Yeah. He had pro-style mass. Just needs somebody to lead him in the right direction. Yeah. He never got it. Never took it.
He competed last year, right?
Was he did. He won a Masters contest.
Did he?
Yeah. He's
good for him. How old is he now?
43.
He's my age, 42. We'll go 42.
But he's completely natural.
Nice.
You ought to see him. He's natural. He doesn't take anything.
Yeah, he's off.
His genetics were just.
And he's shredded, over 200 pounds. Still pretty.
Is he married? Anything like that?
No, he's still pretty much living the same.
You guys are like, you know, I got married 3 times. You guys don't even try to fucking lose.
I was married to a Haitian girl, but that didn't work out.
You know, Larry, a wise man once said, "You learn from your mistakes." A wiser man says, "You learn from the mistakes of others."
Yeah, well, you guys just sit around and make a lot of fucking mistakes. I'm in the gym. I'm helping somebody get ready for a show, so I'm not training.
At the LA Fitness?
At the LA where I train, at Lantana. So what happens is there's a guy in a leg press. He doesn't have the thing unclipped. He has it still up. So all he's doing is doing a leg press and banging on the posts.
He wasn't doing,
like,
he wasn't doing calves. He was just...
He was doing legs, but moving it 6 inches, and it was like this. Boom! 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 It was like I was in a fucking steel mill. I mean, it was amazing.
Break the fucking machine.
I'm getting a headache. The kids are all looking. No one's going over. So I'm like, it did it for about 10 minutes, so I go over. He's doing it, it's yelling, and I'm yelling at while I'm walking. Dude, what the fuck are you doing? Are you fucking stupid? Do you know how to fucking use this thing? He goes, I gotta use that tomorrow. You're gonna break the fucking thing, I said. So he looks at me, and he goes, as I'm getting closer, now he hears me, and he goes, get away from me, get away from me. And I'm like this, so I said, oh, I should have known, you're a fucking retard. And his wife, I didn't even know, was standing right next to me. Imagine me, this guy, and me yelling and calling him a retard. Your wife's standing right there, right? So what happens is that he goes, get away, and he does it again. I'm like, oh my God, this guy's gonna have a nervous fucking breakdown. So I didn't know, give him a pill. So I fucking leave, and now he's doing it again and staring at me in the gym. So now I'm like, you gotta be fucking kidding. I don't do any, you know, you can't do nothing in the gym. It's your church.
Right.
I'm not gonna do anything.
And you don't want to.
I'll go outside and have a fucking field day. But so what happens is that I'm leaving with the same people, and he's filing a complaint up front. As I see him filing with the kid that came in the back that heard all the noise. So I'm like, oh, you're filing a complaint? Imbecile? I said, here's the spelling of my fucking name. Larry Diodato. D-I-O-D-A-T-O. Right? All right, I'm sorry. So I give him my name, fucking, and then he goes, that's the guy who threatened me. And I'm like, I threatened you? Yeah, and he put his hands on me. I said, first of all, my friend, check this out. I'm going to give you a threat. I'm going to rip your fucking head off, wipe my ass with your face, and throw your head in the parking lot. That's a fucking threat. I said, and the guy looks at me and goes, oh my God, and he takes a lot of steroids. And that was like hitting the missile button at NASA for me. I lost my fucking mind after that, right? Like, who the fuck are you? And then, you know, I said, you're the kind of guy who gets a lawyer, calls the cops, and I didn't do anything to you, and there's witnesses everywhere, and boom. So I leave. About 20 minutes, 30 minutes go by, I get a phone call. It's my daughter, it's my nephew, they're all at the gym. Larry, the cops are here, they're looking for you. And I'm like, are you? I'll be right there. You know, like saying, I'm coming. I didn't do anything wrong. I'm coming back. So I get in my car. I fly back to the gym. Cops outside taking a statement with the husband and wife. And I walk in. officer. As I sit down with the officer, some cops are leaving. Larry, what's going on? Because the cops all know me in the gym, you know? So I go, Larry, what's going on? He goes, this is Larry, man. We all know Larry. Larry's great, right? So guys, oh, it's okay, guys. I just need to talk to Larry, get a statement. So the guy goes, so Larry, what happened? He said he put your hands on him. I said, if I put my hands on him, he wouldn't be giving you a statement. I said, that's fucking number one. You'd be putting him with straps in an ambulance and he'd be gurgling. I said, and that's one. I said, number two, he says, he's lying. I didn't do a thing. So long and the short of it, I make my statement. I get a call from the regional director of LA Fitness the next day. Hi, this is the regional director. Hi, I'm sorry what happened yesterday. I was just defending your club, I said. I didn't do anything wrong. And he goes, Larry, I'm not calling you about that. He goes, I spoke to management. He says, people love you. I just wanted to thank you for defending the club. Good. And he says, we expelled the member and his wife.
Great.
And I'm like, oh my God. I said, that's not necessary. I said, he's a dick, but that's not necessary. He goes, Larry, no, it wasn't necessary. He did this at our Boynton Beach club. He called the cops and said somebody threatened him, and nobody threatened him. He's just, he's got psychological trauma for Halloween.
No, what happened?
I look like a fucking checkerboard.
I was down at because I'm living off 10th, I was down at the Bamboo Room, which is an all black.
Yeah, sure.
And the waitresses have fishnets on, this and that. And I told this one girl, this awesome body, I said, I'm going to call you the fishnet goddess. She says, I want to see you wear some next week. I said, I will. So I got some. She went to the men's room with me. I pulled my pants down. You know, and I was on a Molly, and I guess another girl called me, a black girl in Delray, wanted me to come over, and she moved, so I'm trying to find her house, and I got pulled over. And of course they found, I was like a big mouth, told them I had it, which you shouldn't have said. And then they took me to jail. I'm thinking, oh shit, I got to do a body cavity search.
Oh no,
so
with the fishnets on?
So there's a guy.
This is a true story?
Yeah,
I'm sorry. This is like Lou with what's her name? I'm not believing this shit.
Lou, yeah. No, that's true. Oh. But yeah,
you had to do a strip search with your fucking fishnets on.
Yeah, when I came down, I was like, oh shit, I forgot I had these on. I told him.
And how'd you forget? He hurt those fucking things. I wore them for Halloween.
Well,
he was high.
You weren't for Halloween, so did I.
Yeah, but fucking yeah. Plus my, you know what? Got caught in one of the fucking. Everyone's got got my shit cut off. I went dancing with him. I'm like, oh no, I'm bleeding.
Oh my God. You went out to a public place in this?
Yeah, I dressed up as a girl with one breast.
You got more balls than me.
Oh, dude, you know, I had a mustache and fucking hair. That shit.
So I just told the guys, I don't know why I have these on. He's like, okay. He took a pair of scissors, he cut them off, threw it in the garbage.
Oh.
He goes, I've seen worse. I said, really?
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Little does he know, you could have signed those and sold them.
True. I wasn't thinking.
And we're looking for that memorabilia, everyone.
Yeah.
It's like the wrestlers that sell their memorabilia. We're looking for the fishnet stockings.
Yeah.
But you know, I wasn't in my right mind. Because once I started doing that, I would do anything.
What was the worst thing you saw when you were in lockup?
Just 140 guys in a big room.
Yeah, it's packed.
And why do they have to have a small railing on the second floor? I asked the correction officer, how many guys get tossed over here? And he looked at me.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, they almost want it to happen. But thank God, you know, being big, you know, they basically kiss your rear end the whole time.
I was in, I did a prison stunt in L.A. I did in Chino. First they put me...
So you had Crips and Bloods?
Oh, no, hold on. I got it. So what happens, I went from the glass house in L.A. County. They kept me there for about 3 or 4 months till what happened is that I had a warrant for something. I forget, assault warrant. And I didn't go to the court, and I was bodyguard at that time, traveling everywhere. So when I came back, the person that I assaulted saw me in a club and called the cops. So they all showed up, guns out, pulled me in, and brought me into the prison. I stayed at county jail in LA County, which is, they call it the Glass House. Thank God a lot of the guys worked at a World's Gym who were officers there, because I didn't get treated that bad. They put me in, like a trustee they made me. So a trustee has a little bit more, have your own cell. I was actually handing out the pills for the pharmacy, that's to a trustee, to the Menendez brothers. I'd go downstairs, give them to the Menendez
Eric and Lyle?
Yeah.
No shit.
No shit. And then this guy Keating, who was this huge investment banker that just went away for 20.
Tom Keating.
Yes. They had to give them their pills because so they have a certain line, and if they're in solitary, they were in solitary. So what happened is that I was in LA, and the judge hated me because I was trying to be like a celebrity bodyguard or whatever, but I was stupid, a kid. And he sent me to Chino to be held until my trial. I never fucking experienced anything like that in my life. Let me tell you something. You want to be humbled? You got essays, Crips, and the Bloods are the minority. And then you have the Aryan, and then just the white guys looking to fucking join a gang, which nobody wants, So our dorms were a quad, so there'd be the guards all in the middle, 1, 2, 3, 4 systems, 60 beds down here, and on the top end, 30 beds in one quad. And you have 4 of them, and all the guards are going to see. So I was on the bottom quad, and I witnessed, guys getting their throats cut on the fucking line, and, I was terrified because I was such a big kid. But I was a white guy, and I was, a minority, and I wasn't part of a gang.
Yeah, you were a target.
I was a target. Yeah. I really was a target.
So you're too dark for the Aryan Nation.
Oh, you know what happened? So this is what happens, bro. It was a crazy day. So, again, I'm trying to mind my own business. One day, it's like 9 o'clock at night. I'm on my bunk. I have all my stuff laid out, all my toiletries, because I just took a shower. I'm in a towel. And getting ready to bunk down, and these 3 black guys come in, and you knew they were in transit for a while because they were chalky. They were very, dried skin and everything like that. So they came over to my bunk and asked me, didn't ask me. They said, "What's?" I said, "Guys, and when a new prisoner comes in, you have to be, you help them because until they get shit to manage themselves, you volunteer." So I said, "What do you guys need? Need some moisturizer? You need toothpaste or anything like that?" So the one guy says to me, nah, we don't need nothing, man. We're just taking all your shit. And I'm like, oh boy, here we go. So I knew right then it was on. And I didn't know at the time, but there were 3 Bloods. So what happened is that I had one in front of me doing all the talking, one behind me over here, and one here. So what happened is that the one in front of me, I could see him ready to launch. So he stepped to me. He stepped right into my right hand. I literally fractured both orbital bones, broke his nose and his jaw with one shot. Because my hands are that fucking big. Yeah. Hit him, and I'm a monster. And I go backwards and hit the next guy in the elbow, right in his forehead. Knock him right the fuck out. And the other one runs. I run. My fucking towel falls off. I'm running after this dude naked. Right? I dive and grab his ankle. It's a blood. This kid's fast. I'm a fucking, 30-some-odd-year-old fucking man. I grab his ankle, turn him over, and just beat the fuck out of him. Just started hitting him with the bed, some guy's bed and everything. Cops come in, squad, the, what do they call it, the special unit they have. Sirens. I go up against the wall, grab the towel, put myself against the wall. Put my hands against the wall. Cops come in, hit me in the back of the fucking leg with a baton, right? Hit me in the leg. Like a dick, I don't move. Then I realize what I just did. Now they're gonna fucking light me the fuck up, right? Because they don't know who's wrong, who's right. It looks like I beat up 3 guys for no reason, you know what I'm saying? Now they hit me, I'm on the ground, I'm in a fetal position, I'm taking a beating. They put me in 2 days in solitary confinement. This is why you don't get in trouble out there. Put me in 2 days in solitary confinement, in a room, naked, on a metal bed with air conditioner blowing for 2 days. Food coming under the, in the slum.
No pad, cushion?
No. A metal bed, no pillow, no nothing for 2 days. Jeez. Then they come and get me and they say, they bring me in. I have to meet some social director, something like that, whatever they call them. We heard what happened. We heard you were assaulted, and we read your PSI, which means that they know my background. We understand you're a tough kid, and we understand what happened. And I was like, okay, thank you. So they let me go back into population. When I went back into population, now I'm really shitting on myself because I just beat up 3 Bloods, right? I'm there that same day. I'm doing chin-ups in the bathroom on the toilet, like where the stalls are in the bar. So I'm doing chin-ups, trying to keep myself in shape. And this dude comes up to me, 5'6", wide as hell, black kid. And I said, how you doing? He goes, Larry, come here, we want to talk to you. I'm like, oh my God, I'm going to get killed today? Today's the day I'm going to get killed, right? So I go over and talk with him, with a bunch of other guys, and his name is Compton. He's the head of the Crips in the jail and was the head of the Crips on the outside. He had across his chest, Compton put in his body with a razor. So he cut a tattoo in his body, it said Compton. That was his name. And he says, Larry, listen, I'm going to ask you 2 questions. Number 1, can I train with you and keep in shape with you? I said, Yes, that's number one. And he goes, number two, he goes, do you mind if we watch over you? Because what you did, you know, there were Bloods, with Crips. And he goes, you did the right thing. And he goes, we'll watch over you. And I was like, yes again. Those are two yeses. So I had them with me. They watched over me. They introduced me to the SA, the guy who ran the essays. And before you know it, I was totally protected, but still shitting on myself because I always had to be surrounded by somebody because you can get attacked. I used to call my mother every night like the biggest pussy. Like, you know, act tough. Hey, it's Larry. Hey, Larry. Like, you know, Mom, get me the fuck out of here. You know, please get a lawyer. Get me out. They got me out. They dropped the charges because the kid I assaulted was a felon. He missed the case. Long and short of it, they dropped the charges and they let me out after about 6 months.
6 months?
6 months.
Jeez.
6 months. So I had that experience. It was amazing.
Did they give you like a cool Crip name?
No.
Gang name?
You know what happened though? Well, you remind me. When I gave Compton my mom's phone number to tell her where I'd be, they're bringing me back to LA County Jail and releasing me. They released me at 4 in the morning, you know, from all the transiting. Because Chino's up in the mountains. Scared. It's the worst jail in the country. By far. So, and I had to fucking stay there, imagine. So what happens is that I tell Compton to call my mom to tell her where to go, because when we found out, I had nowhere to tell her. We only can make phone calls a certain part of the day. He called my mom that night, told her where to go. My mom picks me up. She goes, Larry, I knew where to go because that nice boy Compton called us. And he said he loved you and he really, really liked hanging out. And he started talking to me. What a nice boy. I'm like, Ma, let's just leave it at that. I'm not even going to go into this story. But can you imagine that shit?